Hello, welcome back to the Life of Gaming channel. Today we're going to be revisiting Animal Crossing as a little follow-up video to the last one about letting go in the pursuit of perfectionism. And I just had a big old dinner, so if I seem a little lethargic today, or just a little more low-key than usual, that is because I'm full of Mediterranean food and I'm very, very happy, but also very full. So yeah, like usual, this is a cozy comment catch-up, which means we're going to be responding to comments from the last video about your experiences with perfectionism and how you have either struggled with it like me, heyo, or maybe you've just never tried to be perfect. Maybe you're just that smart and talented and so good at life that you have never tried to be perfect. You've never fallen into the trap like the rest of us. Who knows? I am once again a bedhead. I wasn't asleep that long. Come on, it was like a few months. It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, once again, most likely clean up my island a little bit. And I gotta change into my fall outfits. I forgot how to open the door for a second there. Let me just scooch on by here and get a nice little fall outfit on. No, I hit the wrong friggin' thing and now I can't. No, go away. We're going for Professor Chic today, complete with mustache. It's true, I'm not home. Go away. Thank you. I look very sophisticated. Let me change my my hair really fast just to make it more, professor-y. Yes. Perfect. Academic chic. That's me. Why? Because I'm gonna school you on perfectionism today. I don't know, because it was vaguely autumny. I really wanted to wear the mustache. Onwards! And I thought today, actually, because it is the fall season here in Boston, I'm really excited about it. I thought that we would get rid of that really awful, gaudy Santa Claus workshop thing that's going on in my island at the moment, and we're gonna replace it with some nice cozy autumn vibes. Maybe some spooky stuff, maybe some Halloween-y stuff, who knows. I have no space for a portrait. Where am I supposed to put it? I'm putting it in my basement. Next to the exercise bike, why not? It looks great. Very spooky, very festive. We love to see it. All right, so I thought while I fix up my island a little bit, if I need to, actually, I don't know if I need to. It hasn't been that long. There's like a few little things we gotta do. But I thought that we would answer the first comment. Oh my God, there's so many weeds. Never mind, I take it all back. I take it all back. Oh, I'm getting major drift. Love that. Love to see the drift. All right, so the first comment comes from Jaden, who is a regular on the various MS Arcadia channels. He said, I have always hated the compliment, you're perfect, because absolutely no one is perfect. You're using it as a compliment, but it's not one. It's implying I don't have anything that can improve, change, or grow, and that's just not true for me or for anyone. You'll always look back at past you and think about how much you've changed and how cringe you were back then. It's healthy and normal. No one's perfect, and that's what's beautiful about humanity. Oh, it's such a nice comment. It's such a good comment, too. The first one, it turned out to be one of the best. I totally agree. It's meant to be a compliment of like, oh my God, you're perfect. You're so good at blah, 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 blah. You're flawless. Like, no, nobody's flawless. Nobody's perfect. To say that something is perfect implies that there's no going up from there. There's no like getting better. There's no improving. And to be human is to want to grow and change and improve, We're constantly evolving, so the idea that you've reached a point where you don't need to evolve any further, it's like, what do you mean? I'm stagnating then. That means I'm doing something wrong. Oh my God. She's so upset. I'm sorry. Oh God. Like, I don't believe that anybody can be perfect at anything, really. I believe there's always something that we can get better at. And yeah, if you're not looking back at your old stuff and being like, oh God, I was so bad at that, then that means that you actually haven't improved at all. So the more that you look back and cringe, the better it is, because that means that you have evolved as a person. You're assumedly better at the thing than you used to be, and that's good. That means that you're making progress. You're doing well in life. If you're not going anywhere in life, you're gonna feel it. If there's something that you feel like you can't possibly get any better at, challenge yourself, because I guarantee you there's still like aspects of it that you could master. Nobody's like 100% perfect at anything ever in the world. So, just give it another go. See what else you can do. Yeah, I would hope that I have changed a lot. And I like to think that I've changed a lot from the past. Like I said in the last video, I'm better than I was at struggling with perfectionism. I try to just let it go at this point in my life and try to be a good version and a better version of myself constantly every day, but not striving for perfection. That's not what I meant to do. Forever forgetting how to do things. No. No. Put this away. Go up the vines. Thank you. There's a lot of things I did when I was younger that I look back and I'm like, why did I do that? But you know what? That just means that I've learned something. And if I wasn't doing that, then that would mean I've learned nothing. And I should probably pay more attention to what I'm doing. I should probably maybe try to focus on evolving as a person. I don't know. Really? Anyways, I thought this was a good comment. I enjoyed it. Thank you for your comment. The second comment comes from Shades of Misery, who says, as a fellow burnt out gifted kid, I had a similar journey. A big part of getting to the stage where I could actually sit down and commit to something I wasn't immediately good at was getting on an anxiety medication. It lowered the barrier to entry enough that I could actually pursue something if I was interested. Hell yeah, fellow burnt out gifted kid, let's go! There's dozens of us. But yeah, I'm really happy that anxiety meds were the thing that worked out for you. I have like a little bit of experience with anxiety in the past, but I haven't in a long time, thankfully. It was something that I was privileged enough to not need medication for because it was never that debilitating for me. However, my current boyfriend, Jared, he has had chronic panic attacks since he was just a little kid. And so he's pretty much on anxiety meds for life because if he goes off of them, it gets really bad. So yeah, I've kind of seen firsthand like how it really helps him with situations where he would otherwise have a lot of issues with anxiety. And I bet just like you, it's probably helped a lot with things like being able to sit down and focus on stuff and commit to things without, constantly worrying about, am I going to be any good at this? And if I'm not good at it, is it going to send me into a spiral? But yeah, I'm glad it's working out for you. It's really good to hear. And if anybody else in the comments suffers from anxiety and has issues with perfectionism as well, feel free to chime in because, like I said, I have thankfully mostly gotten to a point where I'm not anxious about stuff anymore. But I do wonder how universal the experience is for people with anxiety. So if you have any responses to that, please feel free to chime in the comments because I'd love to hear. So the next comment comes from Ahmed Quimp. Is it Quimp? Who says, for me, it wasn't so much about being burnt out as much as it was becoming apathetic about things that I used to be passionate about and eventually giving up on them. A healthy dose of ADHD didn't help either, so I was just jumping from passion to passion, leaving the core passion, politics, to the wayside. This apathy is coming to a head now in college where I can't justify continuing. I figured out that maybe I've been too comfortable with the status quo, so I'm taking a decision that will undoubtedly come with hardship and that requires total self-reliance. I hope it'll kick me into high gear and resolve some of the self-doubt and directionlessness that I feel. Well, first of all, kudos to you for totally changing it up and choosing a completely different path from where you're going, because that takes so much courage and confidence, honestly. It's just a brave thing to do, so kudos to you for that. And I hope that it does actually help with some of your apathy. Some of the most life-changing decisions that we make come with hardship, especially ones where we have to completely rely on ourselves. So I really hope that it does make a difference for you. Obviously, I'm not sure what the decision is that you've made. It sounds like maybe you've decided that you are not pursuing college anymore. Maybe you're working on a different career path or something. But either way, absolutely best of luck to you and whatever you're choosing to do. I have definitely been there with feeling apathetic about things that I was passionate about. Specifically for me, that was when I was in high school. I was dealing with a lot of depression, so it was hard for me to find passion in things. I did not mean to do that. I don't know any of the controls, okay? I've forgotten everything again. It's totally possible that I may have a little bit of undiagnosed ADHD. My brother just got diagnosed with ADHD. My dad definitely has some form of undiagnosed ADHD, yeah. It's most likely a family thing at this point. Okay, I'm not gonna touch anything here this time. Last time, it went horribly, horribly wrong. I also just realized this isn't exactly where it needs to be, and that bothers me. There we go. I kind of struggle with keeping on task a lot of the time. I really, really need deadlines so that I actually complete the things that I'm trying to do. Even things that I like to do, not just work. Even things like getting videos out. Like the fact that I have a deadline for each of these Life Through Gaming videos. Like I have a deadline for each one of them because I have to get one out a week. That's what I've decided for myself, and it's working. No, don't you dare. No. Oh my drift! Oh my drift! Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. Stay, for God's sake. You were my starter. You cannot leave me. I'll kill don't know. But for some reason, it's just so difficult for me to like just start things, basically, just to get the motivation to just begin. And then I actually get into it and I'm like, oh, like I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Why did I put this off for so long? So that's probably a little bit of ADHD there too. And that definitely has to do with things that I enjoy. Like I used to do a lot of knitting. When I was young, I used to do a little bit of drawing, but mostly writing short stories. I wrote a lot of those. Haven't written a short story in probably 15 years at this point. Even just like playing records in my own apartment. Like that's kind of, I have like a passion for like finding really cool old records and just playing them and enjoying them and listening to them. And I haven't even been doing that recently. Don't worry about it. I started 3 new channels, actually. Oh my god, we having a barbecue, guys? Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel you on the apathy. Sometimes it just takes over. I wish I had an answer for you, basically. But I guess my only answer would be, if you haven't been properly diagnosed for ADHD, I feel like that probably would do wonders. I'm sure there's so many resources, so many different like methods and things that you can do to get a little bit more joy back into the things that you used to enjoy, you know? Anyways. Big old ramble, just to say, I really, really hope that things work out in your favor for this big leap of faith. You can't see it, but I'm crossing my fingers for you. I hope it goes well. Keep us updated. Let us know how it goes. Oh my god, there's so many. Are you kidding me? There's just so much over there and I can't reach it. I can't reach it. I need to fix it. I need to fix it. Oh yeah, where's that pole? Let me try vaulting. Okay. Alright, hang on. Hold on. Oh, I forgot to get that. Oh god, hang on. Vault it. No, vault it. No, god damn it. Vault back. Vault back. Vault. There we go. No weeds are getting away from me. And now you can see my little playground behind the town hall. Isn't it cute? My pumpkins. See, I already had these ready to go for the fall. Wow, look at me. So prepared. Next comment is just a really quick one. Because I just thought it was funny how many people related. It's from Grant and it says, oof, burnt out for a gifted kid squad. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. I don't actually have anything else to say on the point. I just thought it was funny how many people related. It's like, okay, it's not just me. It's a strange phenomenon that so many people have dealt with, being a former gifted kid and currently being burnt out because they just never learned how to cope with like having to try hard in life and not being good at things on the first go, having to actually like assert themselves and put in an effort. We never quite learned how to do that, did we? So yeah, I thought that was funny. I feel you. I am right there with you. I think we've collected everything now, except for the shells, but that's fine. We don't need to collect the shells. We picked up all the garbage. No, we didn't. Oh god, there's so much. I'm busy and now stop. Everybody wants to see me all the time. I'm too popular. Goodbye. Don't talk to me ever again. Some bones? Ooh, we can use that in our spooky little... You know what? Let's make a spooky little graveyard. How about that? How much are these gonna run me? $3,000! Ugh. Fine. Who did you have to kill for this? I mean, let's be real. Who is worth the 3K, huh? So let's go take down the horrifically gaudy Santa Claus display, and then we'll put up some creepy, spooky, scary skeletons, and maybe other fun fall stuff. I don't know. And I'll respond to comments too, of course. Oh, God. Taking that down first and foremost. Jesus Christ, man. The next comment comes from Kenneth, who says, I really relate to the gifted thing, as I'm sure other commenters do too. As an autistic person myself at school, I never revised for anything. If I was doing any studying for tests, it was the first time I'd looked at the material. And I don't say that to brag. For me, thousands of hours writing notes didn't help me learn. I either knew something or I didn't. However, what I will say is that while that sounds great, I wouldn't consider autism a superpower. I rely on a carer, and at the moment I don't have one, and I'll be honest, I'm not living, I'm only surviving. Obviously, autism is a spectrum for those of us on it, but I find that most autistic people that claim that their autism is a superpower, they are the ones that have the privilege, whether financial or otherwise, to live around their difficulties. Or their support needs are lower to begin with. But that mindset doesn't help those of us who are struggling because we're often treated like we're not stepping up or not trying hard enough. I think while I've gotten better at letting some things be imperfect, if it's something I really care about, like a special interest, I will still upset myself if I'm not able to do it or do it well. Oh yeah, Santa plays the sax. You know what? We'll keep the sax. Maybe I can get the creepy skeleton to play the saxophone instead. So So I already responded to this and thanked Kenneth for his perspective as an autistic person, because I personally do not have a lot of experience with autism. In my current life, I have one person who is close to me who has autism, but he's definitely on the more privileged end of the spectrum where he doesn't need someone to care for him. And he's pretty much able to live life independently. So I really appreciate this perspective. I already told him thank you so much for giving this perspective, because you know what? I'm just one little person, and I try not to speak on stuff that I don't know about, and I'd rather pass the mic to people who do know and who do have the experience. So yeah, I rescind my statement of saying that it's a little bit like a superpower. There's always going to be difficulties for those with autism. So like you said, being able to live around it is for sure like a privileged situation to be in. And being able to just pick things up immediately and be really, really good at them is also a privilege, for sure. Folding chair. Oh, that can be for the creepy skeleton, kind of. It'll be somebody who sits in the graveyard playing their saxophone. But that's actually a really interesting point that you mentioned, that those people with autism who do struggle more, maybe they're not seen as much because people just assume, oh, you know, you're autistic, you must be so good at everything all the time. On the rest of your comment, you said, in regards to special interests, you still get upset if you're not able to do it. I can definitely understand that, because yeah, special interests, from what I understand, it sounds very similar to just like things that I've been passionate about. Obviously not to the same level. Special interests are their own thing, but yeah, if you're really, really passionate about something, which I think we can all agree, special interests, you're definitely passionate about that thing. It's tough to not be able to do it well, like right off the bat. And I would imagine it adds an even bigger layer on top, because the fact that as someone with autism, you're already perceived as, oh, you should be good at it right off the bat. So then you have even more of like this feeling of, what am I doing wrong? Like, not only am I not good at something that, you know, apparently I'm supposed to be good at, but it's something that I really, really enjoy. Like, ugh, that must be so difficult to reconcile and just like to get over, you know, that feeling. And it's tough. Perfectionism in general is tough, but I think it's probably just a whole other layer when you add it on top of, you know, social disabilities, for sure. Withdraw funds? Wait, did people actually donate? Oh, nobody donated to Santa? What a ripoff. To be fair, it's not even close to Christmas time. Also, I don't think Santa should get donations. That feels, something fundamentally is wrong with that. I don't know. So thank you for bringing that perspective. And if anyone else in the comments is also someone on the spectrum, feel free to just contribute to the conversation. This is all about discussion, and I'm just one little person, and I don't know everything, and I would like to know some things that I maybe previously didn't know. Never feel like you're imposing by like telling me things, or even correcting me on things that maybe I don't have as much knowledge on. I'm always going to be open to it. I'm never going to be offended that you that you told me, well, actually, you know, as someone who has experience with this, etc., etc. So yeah, feel free to leave any comments in that regard. I'm literally just a little gal on the internet. At the end of the day, do I know what I'm talking about? Probably not. But I like to talk. I like to yap. So hopefully you guys enjoyed talking with me. Okay, let's go. Right. Spooky arch. Multiple spooky arches. Okay, while I'm messing with this, because it will take me a while, I'll respond to the last two comments. No, don't... Don't show off your pumpkin suit. How is it still hot? It's been in my house for 2 years. The next comment comes from Mason1310, who says, perfectionism is something that I struggled with going through school, and even something I struggle with now. I grew up a quote-unquote gifted kid and was praised for how natural I was with math. It was just easy for me to look at a concept and understand it. No need to study excessively or anything. So when I hit a huge roadblock that I couldn't get past easily, it hit me extremely hard and I felt like I wasn't myself. Instead of digging in my heels and working through it, I took the path of least resistance and settled for less, pretty much saying to myself, maybe math isn't my thing, and giving up. Even now I see myself doing things like this. When a situation or opportunity comes around that doesn't feel quote-unquote perfect, I just let it go. Like not introducing myself to someone I'm interested in, or not pursuing certain job opportunities because the situation isn't quote-unquote perfect. I see myself avoiding things just because it might take a little bit of elbow grease, or maybe makes me step out of my comfort zone, or even worse, if I fail or find myself worse than I started. This really is one of my worst traits, and I do want to get over it, but when small steps don't feel like they make a dent, and big ones feel overwhelming, it gets easier to take the easy way out. Ironically, yet another example of avoiding things when I can't have it be perfect from the start. I totally feel you on this. The easy way out, 100%, was me, where I was just like, well, you know what? I guess I'm just not good at it. I'm just not gonna try. Because for me, in my brain, it was super black and white. It was either I'm perfect at it or I suck at it. There was no in between. There was no like middle ground, like, oh, you're, you know, so-so. You're right in the middle. You know, if you kept working at it, you could be good at it. Which I think is the norm for pretty much everybody, where they're so-so at everything, unless they just happen to like fall into something that they're really good at. Most most people are very, very average at everything that they do. Unless they have, you know, years of experience working at it, becoming good at it. Everybody starts out somewhere, you know, and that's just life. And yeah, a lot of the time I would just give up. I'd be like, well, this just must not be for me, you know, just like you said, maybe math isn't my thing. I'd be like, well, actually it was also math for me. To be honest, it was like, well, maybe I just suck at math. Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna be the person who sucks at math. I'm never gonna be good at it. And so I never really tried to be good at it, because it was just like, well, I guess I suck. But then I would get down on myself on the fact that I sucked, because I never gave it a shot. I never dug my heels in and tried to work on it, like you said. I was just the path of least resistance. It was just, well, it is what it is. And I never learned that you have to suck at something to be good at it, you know? Well, eventually I did. Thank God, eventually I did. But I definitely feel like the things that I do now, today, I only do them because I was not naturally good at them when I picked them up, but they weren't difficult for me when I picked them up. Like things like video editing, for instance, was something that I was really interested in, and I picked it up really quickly, which has led to, you know, me, practice makes perfect, me getting better at it, and now, you know, I edit as my job. That's my career path, is I'm an editor now. And if I had never been initially like okay at it to start with, I would be in a totally different trajectory. I'd be in a totally different life path. I don't know what I'd be doing right now, but it wouldn't be editing. I can tell you that much for sure, because if I tried it and I had sucked at it first thing, I would have just given up immediately. I would have let it go. I think specifically you mentioned job opportunities. That's really interesting to me, because like I definitely only applied for jobs that I knew that I would really be good at. There was never a time where I saw a job where it was like, okay, I don't have some of the qualifications that they're asking for, but you know what, I'm gonna apply anyways, just see how it goes. No, it was always, if I don't have the qualifications, that job is not for me. I'm not gonna try for that job. And I just assumed before it even happened, I was like, nope, they don't want me because they're asking for these things that I don't have. I'm not perfect for the job. Therefore, I will not be good at it. Therefore, I'm not going to try. So yeah, I always kind of went for safe jobs. It was definitely a leap of faith for me to start editing myself, but that was mostly just because I didn't like the job that I was in. I didn't like the job that I had at the time. And I was like, you know what? I know that I'm good at editing. Why don't I just give it a shot? But yeah, as someone who had a huge fear of rejection when I was younger, I'm realizing in my more recent years that it wasn't just rejection of people, like from people, it was rejection of things, like rejection of activities. I was afraid that I would try things and they wouldn't suit me, and then it would essentially reject me outright because I wasn't good enough at it, you know? Even though it was technically me rejecting myself, if any of that makes sense, you know, but it was certainly one of my worst traits as well. So I sympathize with you on that one. It took me a long, long time to get over it. And I don't even have like good advice on how to get over it, to be honest, because it's just something that I gradually learned to kind of step away from. I think I had to put myself in enough situations where I was forced to try something that I wasn't necessarily great at off the bat, and just sort of learn on the fly and realizing, oh, this is actually okay. Like I'm still gonna get a good outcome, even if I do have to learn totally like flying by the seat of my pants, you know? I think it's a matter of putting yourself in more situations where you're uncomfortable. And I know that's really, really hard. That's easier said than done. Maybe try to challenge yourself to, I don't know, try like a little something new every week, something that's out of your comfort zone. Or maybe even just like once a month, you know, it doesn't have to be every week. And just allow yourself to suck at it. You know, choose something that nobody else is gonna see. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. You know, don't post it to social media. Don't tell your friends. Don't tell your family. Don't tell anyone that you're like working on this thing. Just do it for you. It's all about baby steps, and it's baby steps with like very inconsequential things. I think is the big important thing, is that it needs to be, if you're gonna try to overcome it, it needs to be really small, inconsequential experiments that you do. Don't do something like cooking or baking, because if the outcome isn't very good, then it's just kind of, you have to throw the whole thing away. Don't do anything like food related, I would say. Maybe drawing, maybe like poetry, maybe short stories. I don't know, it's tough with creative stuff because I feel like that's the stuff that we get the most down on ourselves about, because it's something that we've created with our own hands, you know? But I bet there's like so many other things that you could try. Very inconsequential things that are more someone teaching you how to do something versus you just coming up with it, you know, top of your head. I don't know if any of that made sense. Hopefully it did. Either way, I appreciate your comment. And I hope that you can take little baby steps that will eventually build up to something bigger. And maybe you'll eventually overcome it. And then this very last comment of the video, I felt, you know, just wrapped it all up so nicely. P. Thor says, perfection is boring. Strive for it is natural, but reaching is unrealistic. So true, King. So true. That is the last one, and I felt, you know, it just wrapped it all up. And that is it for the comments, and I think we are mostly done here. I think this is about as good as it's getting. Look, it's like a fortune teller. I know it's not a great chair. Hold on, I'll see if I can get a better chair. Hang on. Let me hop in my carriage and go home. I do kind of wish I had like skeleton horses or something for the carriage, but whatever. Do you like it? Do you like what you see? I've forgotten your name. I guess this one, this is pretty fortune tellery. It's giving psychic. There we go. Isn't that nice? I do wish it was nighttime. Hang on. Let me screw with let me fudge the date and time real quick. Okay, I synced it with the actual clock, the real time, which is 12:45 in the morning. Now let's check out what we got going on here. Ooh, they're moving in the wind. Spooky. Oh my god, look at it. Oh baby, there's so many. I didn't realize when I was decorating it, it's all pumpkins. There's so many pumpkins. So many jack-o'-lanterns, but look, let me read you your fortune. Ooh, beautiful. I'm content. What a great little spooky stage. And with that, I will leave you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed this cozy little follow-up video. I know that they're a little niche. Like, there's no way that anybody who's not part of the community is gonna watch these videos. But that's not what I'm making them for. I'm making them for you guys. So I'm just happy to foster a cozy, cute little small community with you guys. So the next Life Through Gaming video that's coming out, let's see, what kind of a hint can I give you for that? It is a much more hectic game than the last few games have been. I'll just tell you right now, it's a game called Going Under, and it's a dungeon crawler where you go around fighting monsters from failed startups as an intern. So if you can guess what the topic of that video will be, you get, of course, a shout out in the video when it comes out, as usual. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!